Hi guys, welcome to the second installment of the Munich series. Part 1 covered Olympiahalle's music dates in 1973. Now let's resume the concert record books at the venue. 1974 had 15 shows, with Yes playing 2 dates, ELP, David Cassidy, Grateful Dead, Deep Purple, Ike and Tina Turner, and Eric Clapton in November. 1975 had Jethro Tull, Barry White, Frank Sinatra, and Cat Stevens, in quite a diverse musical offering that year. 1976 gained momentum with The Who in February, Rory Gallagher, David Bowie, and Diana Ross in April, Jethro Tull and Cat Stevens back in May. The Rolling Stones played 2 nights in June, while Genesis played their Trick of the Tail that same month. Wings hit the hall in September, and December had both Santana and Journey rocking the Neil Sean Carlos Santana combo. 1977 was the busiest year of the decade for Olympiahalle. You had Frank Zappa in January, Chicago, Leonard Skinner and Pink Floyd in February, Fats Domino in March, Bad Company, Jethro Tull, and the Rock and Blues Express Festival in April, the Eagles in May. Genesis was back this time with 2 nights of Wind and Wuthering. The venue also had Neil Diamond and Eric Clapton in June, Supertramp in September. October had Rainbow recording its Live in Munich 1977 album here, plus Peter Gabriel on the 22nd. November 23rd had Yes, plus special guest Donovan, while Joan Baez closed the year on the 26th. 1978 had 17 shows with Status Quo, Fats Domino again, and Uriah Heep in March. May had Queen for their News of the World tour, ELO for Out of the Blue, and Genesis this time for And Then There Were 3. May also had David Bowie on the 20th and Jethro Tull on the 27th. Rory Gallagher played on October 6th. November featured Muddy Waters and Eric Clapton on the 12th, Rod Stewart on the 14th, and Liza Minnelli on the 29th. Carlos Santana closed the year on December 2nd. 1979 had 24 shows with The Crazy World of Adriano Celentano on May 27th, the star-studded Jazz Fest München 1979. September had Patti Smith and the Woodstock in Europe Revival Festival. October had 3 nights with Supertramp on their hugely successful Breakfast in America tour. John Denver and ABBA closed the year with their signature songs. 1980 had 25 performances, starting off with The Who on March 31st. A venue favorite, Jethro Tull, was back on April 1st, and Barclay James Harvest the next day. Johnny Cash made tons of cash on April 8th. Uriah Heep and Mike Oldfield brought their progressive rock power in late April. July was a busy month at Olympiahalle with Frank Zappa on the 3rd, Roxy Music on the 4th, Led Zeppelin on the 5th, and Santana playing 2 consecutive nights. Imagine being a ticket holder and having access to all these shows. Crazy, right? Led Zeppelin's 1980 date in Munich on July 5th was the penultimate show of a 14-date series, with them playing 2 nights in Mannheim on July 2nd and 3rd. Setlist-wise, Munich holds a very special place in the band's history, as it features the final live performance of Achilles' Last Stand. This is extra special given the fact that Presence was recorded at Musicland Studios Munich, just 3 miles away from Olympiahalle, in the basement of the Arabella Hotel. It was sort of full circle for the epic number and the band, with the Circus Crone also in close proximity. You can watch my Making of Presence series for a detailed description of how Achilles' Last Stand came to be. So as we can see, Led Zeppelin's story with the city moved around a small radius, a walking distance of rock and roll victories. Now Munich 1980 was also special because of Bad Company's own Simon Kirke joining the band for Hola Love. This 2-drum set version remains a one-of-a-kind treat for fans and bootleg scholars out there. With 14,000 ticket holders that night, Munich was one of the most important shows from the tour. John Bonham shaved his beard for the proceedings. The band flew from Frankfurt at 4 p.m. and arrived around 5:30 p.m. in Munich. Showtime was scheduled for 9 p.m. Melody Maker journalist Steve Gett wrote a very good review from the show, thanks to the assistance of Tight But Loose brilliant Sepp historian Dave Lewis, who provided the right context before the show. The story was released on July 12, 1980. Munich was the 9th show in West Germany since opening night in Dortmund, which you can check my concert review here on the channel. While the band played Austria, Belgium, Switzerland, and Netherlands at 1 show each, Tour 1980 was mostly a concert run in West Germany. Looking back at 1973, their 1980 setlist had songs in common, with the Rain Song making an interesting return in their final year on stage. Both shows had a similar running time of 2 hours, and while there was no Dazed and Confused by 1980, Led Zeppelin had new sounds coming back from hardships. The days of Houses of the Holy were distant. 3 studio albums later, this was a working unit that focused on their strengths as best as they could. The band's outfits had Robert Plant, John Paul Jones, and John Bonham wearing average wardrobe choices for the tour. Jimmy Page wore a similar style to Vienna, Zurich, and First Night at Mannheim.
The front here, if you could move back a little bit, lots of people getting so can you move back 1 meter, please, everybody? From the back, from my Benji who's got all the Bob Hope. Move back. This is a track from the last album, In Through the Outdoor. It's called In the Evening. hand in the air, please, everybody. Right hand in the air, with the fingers spread like this. See? Take them down to your nose, and then say, I thank you. After 3. 1, 2, 3. Excellent, the show begins. Just push a little bit. Push, push, push. Okay, well, dedicate this to all the wondrous times that we've all had in Munich, both recording here and all that sort of thing. And especially to Vera, wherever you are, Vera. as this tune. It's the first tune we've done for 3 years, and it's been quite an interesting sketch actually. But it's getting a little bit towards the end now. We've got one more shot after this, and then who knows, you know? Perhaps we'll have to do another one after that one. But this is about where it leaves us after you leave Last Stand. Guitar. Before the club's shut, we'd like to do one more. We'd also like to say that what you read in the papers today in the Built magazine is not true. The Doctor isn't in fact behind the stage, he's playing the drums. And we're going to bring on a drummer, a very good friend of ours, a guy from a group called Bad Company. Does anybody remember Bad Company? Simon Kirke on drums, Simon Kirke. Another man from Northern England, Simon Kirke. And this is going to be a little bit of an experiment for the next show that you have in town. In other words, it sells more and there's more people on stage. Let's go.
Led Zeppelin played their final show of their career just 2 days after Munich in West Berlin on July 7th, and headed back home to work on the new plans for the 80s, as this tour was key in convincing Robert Plant to go back to America. You can check episode 7 of my Making of Into the Outdoor series for a complete chronicle of the band's last months. The 1980 schedule for Olympiahalle included Stephen Stills on July 24th, Kiss and Iron Maiden on September 18th, Paul Simon and Rod Stewart in October, Bob Seger in November, AC/DC with special guest Whitesnake on December 17th, and Queen the next day. Robert Plant returned to Olympiahalle on June 3rd, 1993 for his Fate of Nations tour, plus a second visit with his teammate Jimmy Page for the Walking Into Everywhere tour of 1998. On July 5th, 1980, Olympiahalle Munich witnessed a band walking into the future, into the unknown trails of time slipping away, of 70s glories facing the new decade. It was a strong show with warmed up spirits and rock and roll dinosaurs proving everything but extinct. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and stay tuned for the next concert destination. Bye bye.